At Pechanga Resort Casino, you can rock and...
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Woo! The second half of the NBA season starts tomorrow. The Lakers have their game on Friday against the Los Angeles Clippers. Man, the Lakers need to start the second half of the season on a right foot. They need to go out there and take care of business against the Los Angeles Clippers. The Lakers are in between the middle of the pack of the Western Conference. There's no reason for this team to fall in the play-in tournament, because if they do, they're going to be in some trouble. The Lakers want to try to get home court advantage. Then, of course, we got more stuff with Tim Harris stepping down, president of business operations, Lakers president of business operations stepping down. He informed the team yesterday. And then, of course, Jeanie Buss having more comments to be made around LeBron James. I know everyone is tired of LeBron James news cycle and everything is centered around LeBron James. Why can't we shift our attention to the second half of this season and, of course, what the Lakers can do going into the postseason, and then all of the offseason news that the Lakers could potentially be doing? I know that's where the energy needs to be at, but it's something that has to be discussed. And of course, I mentioned some names yesterday when Andy Kamenetsky was on me on yesterday's episode of Lakers Talk Daily. I want to revisit that, give you guys some more insight and more input on my personal opinion on if those players would be a good fit and what the Lakers need to do going into the offseason. But of course, I have to talk about my beautiful friends at Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA reservations and for more information. Let's start off with this. So, Lakers president of business operations, Tim Harris, informed the staff yesterday that this will be his final season with the organization. Harris was the driving force between the massive local TV deals with Spectrum Sportsnet and has been with the Lakers for more than 35 years. 35 years he was with the Lakers franchise. And you know what that just says for me? It is time. The process is loading up. Mark Walter, Andrew Freeman, that whole entire group is getting ready to imprint their fingerprints all over this Lakers franchise. It is time to move forward with this process. It is time to see if they can sprinkle in what they were able to do with the Los Angeles Dodgers and trickle that over to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's be honest here. We have grown a lot of frustration with these past couple of seasons and how the Lakers have been ran. For being truly honest, I know a lot of you guys have a lot of frustration when it comes to Rob Pelinka. And to be honest, he has had his hands full as far as trying to acquire the assets that they need to be done with very limited resources to get deals done. Now remember, we were very, very fortunate. He was very, very blessed to get Luka Doncic and get the hands on that. And now you have a whole generational superstar that we always keep on saying that they can look forward to build around, and you have a foreseeable future. You have an actual plan. But if we look back at these past couple seasons, what have the Lakers done? They have always been aggressive. It is time to do this. It is time to be aggressive during the trade deadline. We're going to put all of our chips in the center of the table, and we're going to make this move right now just to see if we can get success for that season. And you know what is crazy? That wasn't necessarily the case going into the trade deadline this season, which I was very, very happy about. I was sitting there, you know what? They made one move with Luke Kennard and they got rid of Gabe Vincent, but that was okay because it wasn't a move that changed the whole trajectory going into the offseason. They still got a plan going in the offseason. Getting rid of Gabe Vincent was not that big of a deal. They added a sharpshooter in Luke Kennard to help this team out. Cool. It worked. But remember what they were doing recently. Remember, I always bring up Dorian Finney-Smith, what the Lakers were doing. Good. It was working for that part. It worked for that stretch of the season last year. And then what happens when he goes into free agency? Lakers couldn't match that offer. He gets more money with the Houston Rockets. He's off and going. Lakers lose that asset. And then you go back with that, the whole Russell Westbrook thing, which we don't need to get into. There's no need to get into all that. And then you go into a year after that, you got D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, and all that different type of stuff, and trading D'Angelo Russell and bringing him back. And then you got to, again, every single thing Lakers have been doing these past couple seasons has always been, hey, we need to be aggressive now. We need to get somebody for right now. Getting Dennis Schroeder, then trading him away. Remember, all those different types of things the Lakers were doing was always set up to, let's see if we can make a run in the postseason. To where now you see all these different types of things. You see the whole new medical staff being changed, all these different types of staff that are about to be coming in due to Mark Walter and Andrew Friedman getting their hands on this Lakers franchise. You are slowly starting to see it, and the process is getting ramped up. And this is a good thing. Remember, Tim Harris stepping down, let's not look at this as a negative thing. Let's look at this as Lakers are having a plan, and they're going forward with this plan. So it's something that we should be happy about. The Dodgers way, remember, it did not happen overnight. It took a couple of seasons. It took a couple of years to build the right team, and you're seeing what they're able to do. Again, two totally different types of luxury tax brackets we're talking about here. Baseball, there is no salary cap. NBA, you got a salary cap, you got a second apron. You're dealing with all the different types of things that makes it really, really difficult to acquire certain types of players. But you can't tell me that there's not a plan in store to essentially build the right team over the next couple of years. And then guess what? Be in a race to contend for a championship every single season. I think the Lakers fans and you guys in the YouTube chat are actually coming to an understanding that, hey, it is going to take time. And a lot of you guys weren't upset when it came to Lakers not making that aggressive of a move going into trade deadline. A lot of us were happy and excited about that. There was no one around Lakers Twitter, anything on social media. No one was complaining. They were very happy that they got rid of Gabe Vincent. Maybe that's because he wasn't being productive enough. Because everyone's in the understanding that there is a plan. So I definitely wanted to touch in with that. And this is a big thing because this is just pointing towards a direction that new ownership is coming in and they're getting their fingerprints and they're slowly making these moves to build the necessary structure that is needed for this Lakers team. This family-owned business and the way it's been operated, it's ran its course. This is the new era and this is how it should be. Now, transitioning into what Jeanie Buss, and this is where I'm tying everything in, is that she was on CNBC, and of course, everyone is just wondering if LeBron James is going to be returning as a Los Angeles Laker. Is he going to be on the move to the Cleveland Cavaliers? Is he going to be going to a different organization? So, of course, she was asked that question, and what really frustrated me in hearing what she had to say about if LeBron James is that she never really gave no clear-cut answer. She was being around the bush, saying that, he's just still remarkable at his age, which he is. Let's not take that away. He is he's playing very, very well at this stage of his game. But being around the bush, not giving a clear-cut answer, we would love to have LeBron James back. He just had a triple-double the other night, and he has earned the right to to make that decision going in for the offseason, which, again, he has. He has made that right. He has earned that right to make a decision like that and where he wants to go. I've seen Brian Windhorst. He's made comments about LeBron James. And this is where it gets really interesting is that whatever he decides to do, he's going to have to take a minimum contract. Think about that. LeBron James, in his 23 years of playing basketball, he's going to be heading into the offseason with the understanding that he has to potentially take a minimum contract if he wants to go to, a contending team, as in the Cleveland Cavaliers. And honestly, for the Los Angeles Lakers, if you're the Lakers, you want to present the plan just like this. LeBron James, this is what we're doing. We have our guy in Luka Doncic right now. I know you're understanding that, and I know you come to the conclusion that Luka Doncic is our guy. We want to do this. We're going to build this type of team. We want to bring these type of players. We want to be ran this type of way. Now, if you understand and you want to fit that model, we are all willing to bring you in. Because remember, everyone has this notion that if LeBron James comes back, then all of a sudden Lakers are not serious enough to be contenders. That's not necessarily the case. I can be in the belief that they can do two things. One, try to work out things with LeBron James. And if he does decide to do a retirement tour, cool. But that necessarily won't always take the attention away of what the Lakers can do and still compete, depending on the type of players and guys they go out and get during the offseason. Remember, they can potentially do that. But this notion that, never say never, but, he's certainly hasn't given his indication. He's earned the right to decide how his career will go. And, he continues to impress me. Like, why are we beating around the bush? Just keep it straight and simple. We would love for LeBron James to return. If he does not make that choice to return with the Los Angeles Lakers, we're very, very grateful for what he's done for this franchise. And just move on. You got a plan. You got Luka Doncic. Get ready for that. And I know everyone gets tired of why do they always have to cater towards LeBron? I'm telling you guys right now, he knows what he has gotten himself into. This is the first time before this season started where, remember all the news from Rich Paul, LeBron James would like to contend for a championship-level team, and we were going to see where that fits. And if it fits with the Los Angeles Lakers, then we'll be willing to be here and be ready to go. But if not, we were not going to steer away from the direction of him potentially looking to contend this season, which, cool, I understand. At this point in your career, if you want to try to earn a championship, cool. So we were all under the impression that, he might get traded before the season starts. And then what happens? You see him opt into his player contract. He opted in for a reason. For a reason, right? Because he understands, I'm not going to get this money elsewhere. I'm going to opt in and get this $52 million and play this season. Remember, Lakers have been doing what these past couple of seasons? 1+1. We'll give you another year. We'll give you another year. All right, here we go. What do you think is be good for LeBron James? What do you think can help this team out? It's always been, what do you need? What do you want? That has not been the case at all this season. Not giving that 1+1. Hey man, look, if you want to opt in, cool. By all means, we'll love to have you back on this team to help us out to contend for a championship. But if not, we're not worried. Because why? They have Luka Doncic. So going in to this offseason and understanding, just present the plan. If he does not fit that model and that plan, it is okay. It is okay. But the best thing for the Lakers front office and the Lakers to go about this the right way. Because we were having that discussion on the DeMarco and Travers afternoon show. Is that why? Why do we essentially have to cater to him? It's not necessarily catering to him. It's just getting him to understand and being forward with a plan, a proper plan. And once again, if he doesn't fit that, if he doesn't understand that, which I do believe he's understanding that this is now Luka Doncic's team, then that is the right way to go about things. Fired up today, man. It's a good episode. I know everyone's getting tired of the whole LeBron James news cycle. What is LeBron James going to do? What is the offseason? But it is something that we need to understand. And it is something that is going to be a big deal because this is potentially something that can change what the Lakers could do this offseason. And I know I know we are more concerned about why we're not talking about the second half of the season, which I will. I definitely am going to talk about the second half of the season on the other side of this episode. But I see you guys in the YouTube chat. I'm going to read some stuff off. Is that like LeBron in a pay cut, diehard Lakers fan? Pay cut, yes. I'm telling you guys right now, LeBron James, everyone is in the agreement that he can't just go to a team. A lot of teams are going to have to take, he's going to have to take that pay cut, especially with the Cleveland Cavaliers and how their roster is constructed with Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, Jared Allen. He's going to have to take a minimum contract. Yes, it sounds so surreal at this stage and how he's still playing at a high level. It's going to be the same thing for the Lakers. There's no reason to give him $20 to $30 million. Give him in the $15 to $20 range. Give him a minimum contract so you can build the right team. That is all we are getting at with. That is all we are getting at with. And I see you guys in the YouTube chat. No, Jay, we were not getting Jeanie Buss as a guest today. It was just something that she made comments and that I just wanted to elaborate on. But we'll dive more into this. Got the second half of the episode coming up. I definitely want to read some more names off to you guys. Also, I saw something, an interesting graphic that I wanted to bring up to you guys as well. Then we got the second half of this NBA season. And should we be worried about what the Lakers are going to be doing as far as can they actually contend for either a Western Conference Finals appearance or could they actually slip in the play-in? We'll talk about all that. Let me take a little break and let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
What is going on? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. I just want to read some more comments off to you guys because you guys have been on fire in the YouTube chat. Lakers 1320 says he'll take a pay cut. He should have gave the Lakers and go ring chase. Once again, teams are not willing to just LeBron James opted into that $52 million contract with the Lakers for a reason. He knew he was not going to get that money elsewhere. He knew if he would have just opted out, it would have been very hard for him as a free agent to go get that quality of money somewhere else. There's very limited teams that he can go to. Why do you think it's always Lakers, Cleveland, and potentially the Golden State Warriors? There's no other team that has been willing to get into LeBron James sweepstakes at this stage of his game. So if LeBron James were to take a pay cut and go to a different team, say if it was the Cleveland Cavaliers, I don't think it would hurt his legacy because he is going back to where it all started for him, right? The Cleveland Cavaliers, where he got drafted, where he made a name for himself, where he left to Miami but came back and what he did? Returned and gave them a championship. That essentially wouldn't hurt his legacy. I feel like LeBron, everyone has that question of if he was to go to a different team, will it hurt his legacy? Let's be honest. His legacy has already been established. Him winning one more ring, cool. It's very, very nice. And it just adds to more achievements that he has succeeded to. But as far as hurting his legacy at this stage of his game and at the age, it's not hurting his legacy if he were to decide to go to a different team because where else could he potentially be a good fit in? I do believe you put him on any other team, he'll be a good fit with anybody else, a lot of these teams. But it all depends on what is good for him. And teams got to be understanding that what is good for them to get into this business right now with LeBron James. And I'm going to read one more thing off before I transition over to the second half of the season and some names I want to read you guys off to. So Peter Acevedo, my guy, says, my guess is LeBron will take a minimum contract for the Cavs, but not the Lakers. I do believe that he has no choice but to take a minimum contract with a lot of these teams, even for the Los Angeles Lakers. Because if you give LeBron James a lot of money, then that ruins what you need to do and accomplish to build the right team. I saw a graphic this morning on First Take, and in that graphic, it was the Lakers and how much space they have as far as going into this offseason. So they have $51 million potentially going into this offseason. That is how much they have as far as cap space. And they have 3 potential first-round picks that they can offload from, all right? 3 potential tradable first-round picks. Let me be clear on that. 2026, 2031, and 2033. So that just all goes to show me there's a reason why the Lakers weren't as aggressive. There's a reason why the Lakers weren't as aggressive through this trade deadline. And Rob Pelinka said it. We're always gonna, we definitely listen. We definitely saw some teams reach out and contact us as far as what would be a good trade. And there were some names that we could have tried to go out there and acquire. But that's why you remain patient. Because $51 million in cap space, the Lakers really haven't had in a while, as far as that much leeway. Austin Reeves is definitely going to eat into that. I do believe Austin Reeves is going to return to this Lakers team. 3 tradable first-round picks. And everyone has this assumption that, Giannis is going to be coming. I don't believe that is something that needs to be done. Don't go after and get Giannis. Why? Why try to add 2 stars? I am in the belief that era of superstar, pairing up a big 3 like that, it's not the same anymore. You got to look at the model of the game now. OKC and how they are ran. The San Antonio Spurs, how they are ran. Hell, even the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know they just acquired James Harden, but I like the way their team is constructed and organized. The Detroit Pistons, I know they're doing really well right now, 40-13, but look how their team is. They got an all-star in Cade Cunningham, another all-star in Jalen Duren, but the rest of the guys are role players and they exceed in their roles. The Lakers have to do that. The Lakers have to do that. And that is why it is important. And this is why I'm answering the question in the YouTube chat as far as if LeBron James were to try to come back with the Lakers, there's no reason to try to give him that much money, knowing that you can get other guys around his team to be a good fit around Luka Doncic. Isn't that what the whole reason is, and that what the whole thought process and plan is going forward? Now, with that being said, I talked about some names with Andy Kamenetsky yesterday, and I want to recycle it, and I want to bring it back, and I definitely want you guys to react with me. And I want your guys' thoughts in the YouTube chat as far as Lakers have discussed potential players that they're going to target in this offseason. And I read this one yesterday in Tobias Harris. And I laughed because Tobias Harris, great offensive player. What he does as far as offensively, really, really good. He's at the age of 33. The timeline does not really essentially sync up with Luka Doncic. And Tobias Harris is not really that good of a defender. He is solid, but he's not that good of a defender. And he doesn't necessarily answer what the Lakers need. I'm going to repeat that one more time. What do the Lakers need in this offseason? Young, athletic, 3-and-D wings, and guys who can shoot the rock. And they're going to need a certified big man. DeAndre Ayton is not cutting it. Sorry, we're being honest. DeAndre Ayton is just not cutting it for this Lakers team. So you try to get if Tobias Harris on the list, that should be an absolute no. Let's shift our attention somewhere else. If the Lakers go out there and actually think that Tobias Harris can help them out a lot, then we need to have a real concern as far as if that's their answer. Then you got Dean Wade. Remember, this is a list per Dave McMenamin, which he wrote an article yesterday. Dean Wade, who plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, a guy who can stretch the floor out, got good size, not a bad rebounder. Can he be a limited role player? Possibly so, depending on how much his value is going to be in the offseason. I do not like that for Lakers. Now, as far as the spacing aspect and him shooting the rock, but everything else doesn't really answer what the Lakers need. And then another one. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Andrew Wiggins. How many times do we have to hear the Lakers be centered around Andrew Wiggins? Andrew Wiggins at his age, as a mid-range guy, as a real solid defender, gets into passing lanes, has a good wingspan, can get deflections. That is really, really good. But what do we always say? When you have a guy like Luka Doncic, you have a guy like Austin Reeves, you want to essentially build guys who can space the floor and shoot the three ball, but also can defend at a high level. And I don't think Andrew Wiggins is something like that because his market is probably going to be what? In the $30 million range, $20 to $30 million range. So when you're the Lakers and knowing you got a little bit of cap space like that, you want to make a move that is a guy that's younger and athletic and that can change a lot of the way this team plays. And that is why these last three names, when I brought up to AK, we were in agreement. Quentin Grimes, which we seen him and we've seen what he's able to do with the Philadelphia 76ers, and him getting a 40 ball and him being able to create his own shot, does a lot of things offensively. He's not that bad of a defender, but he can help this team out tremendously as far as in the spacing of the offensive game. Not that bad of a defender. Now, the one that I really, really feel like will be a really good target for the Lakers, and we see what he does for the Denver Nuggets, and we've seen how his game is elevated, and that is Peyton Watson. Peyton Watson is a guy that will be, I kid you not, if the Lakers are able to pull this off, it would be a tremendous move for the Lakers. Guy who can block shots at his size. He can also get out and run. He also is not that. He's actually a good defender. Keeps guys in front. He can switch what JJ Redick likes to do. And then guess what? His offensive game has expanded. He's also able to step out in the three-point range. I believe he's shooting in the 40% range. I could be wrong. But he has helped that Denver Nuggets team out a lot, especially with guys out of the lineup. And you pair him up with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, if you can make that happen and you're the Lakers, that will be a big move and something that can really, really help this team out. But the only thing is that we have to also keep in mind that a lot of other teams are going to be in the market for those said guys. Restricted free agent, remember that. So it's going to be hard to try to come by and get guys like that. But once again, I do believe if they were to get their hands on a guy like him, now that is something that could help this team out a lot. And that's another thing. It's just so much things that Lakers need to do. And that is why it's important. Knowing you got 3 tradable first-round picks, knowing you got $50 million in cap space around that ballpark. This offseason points towards who? Rob Pelinka. If you can't have any success in this season, which we all in agreement that it's possible the Lakers will not win a championship this season, which is we are in the understanding of that. You have to nail this offseason. You have to. You cannot waste another year of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. You cannot waste any of these prime years of Luka Doncic. It is a must. You have to hit some way in this offseason. You must have to. See you guys in the YouTube chat. And I just wanted to dive into one last thing before we wrap up our episode today. And that is the second half of the NBA season. So I've been hearing some stuff in regards to where the Lakers want to be at heading into the postseason with only 28 games remaining. If the Lakers' job, I will say, needs to be getting home court advantage. They do have a puncher's chance against the Houston Rockets. The only thing that worries me is that they do get matched up because if the season were ended, if the playoffs were to start today, I do believe that they will get matched up with the Houston Rockets. The only thing that worries me is that we've seen what the Houston Rockets did to the Lakers at home on Christmas Day. They're a lot more physical than them. They pushed them out of their offense, and it was really tough for the Lakers to score. But Houston Rockets are vulnerable, meaning they don't have guys that can really go out there and score. Kevin Durant is their main guy to create their shots. Amin Thompson can do a lot of things really, really well on the defensive end of the floor. That is a potential matchup the Lakers could succeed in. Now, when I say my worries of them falling into play-in tournament, which, again, could happen, you don't want to go on the road in a 7-game series against Oklahoma City Thunder. You don't want to go on the road 7-game series against the San Antonio Spurs. And you do not want to go on the road 7-game series against the Denver Nuggets. So if you're the Lakers and you have a goal and you want to try to stay healthy, which that is going to be the kryptonite too, is staying healthy for these remaining 28 games. Because the sample size of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James has not been enough, which is another concern. You must get home court advantage. That is a huge goal heading into the playoff picture if you want to have any sort of success. And that is, as far as that is where I'm at. And 28 games, Lakers got a chance to actually stay afloat in the Western Conference. You want to avoid the play-in. And I'm going to just finish it off with that. And I'm going to read one more for you guys in the YouTube chat. Very, very grateful for you guys being in there. And the Hard Lakers said, can the Lakers pursue Bam Adebayo? I don't think the Miami Heat are going to be willing to get off of Bam Adebayo. I think he is their franchise guy and someone that they want to continue to build around with. Bam Adebayo, if the Lakers were able to pursue him, that would be great. But as far as that, don't think he'll be on the market. Love you guys in the YouTube chat. Very, very grateful. Brian in the YouTube chat says Wiggins is the new Buddy Hield. At least Buddy Hield can shoot the rock. Andrew Wiggins, his game is very, very limited offensively. But it's going to be a wrap. I appreciate you guys always tuning in. Got another one tomorrow. Lakers got their game against the Los Angeles Clippers on Friday. Let's see if they can start their second half of the season off right. Luka Doncic needs to get healthy. This Lakers team needs to try to stay healthy for the second half of the NBA season. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see what kind of noise they could potentially make. But for myself and my guys in the back, I appreciate you guys in the YouTube chat and all you guys tuning in. We are out. I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow.